What's up guys, welcome to a new video. In this one we'll be doing something a little bit different. Instead of talking about Brazil or showing a technique, I want to do a match analysis. In this case we'll be studying one of my own matches, and it's going to be about finishing a triangle choke. I know the triangle choke is a very basic one, but it can be hard to finish against tough resisting opponents. So I'll show you guys how I did it, give you guys some tips for your mindset and techniques as well, of course, so you guys can finish triangles as well.
Alright, let's get straight to work. So, this was one of my matches in the gi at Grappling Industries a few weeks back. And as you can see here, I've set up a lapel single leg X guard. That's one of my favorite positions. So, there's not a lot of ways to escape from this, but my opponent eventually tries to roll out of it. So, we're here, and this is a pretty common thing you will see people do. They will try to roll out of it, maybe try to take the back from there. But I'm pretty aware of the situation, and it's relatively easy for me to defend. And I can even put the situation to my advantage. As you can see, the lapel, the foot stuck in lapel might give people a false sense of security. So here you see my foot coming out. He's leaving this arm on the outside, the other arm is in. That's a perfect cue for me to shoot a triangle right here. So as you can see, my triangle is not perfectly locked from the beginning. It's locked relatively shallow. The feet are crossed, but my foot, my left foot in this case, is nowhere near the inside of my right knee, as I would like it to be. So this is where I start breaking down his posture and adjusting my triangle. I use this grip on my shin, so whenever I open up to adjust my angle, my triangle remains locked, so to speak. It's not a locked triangle, but the loop around his neck is still in place. My hand takes the place of my leg here. So that way I can adjust my angle and start to adjust and get a tighter triangle. Right here. So we're still not where we want to be, but I'm already worked my way up from my ankle to halfway to my knee. My opponent tries to push me off a little bit, but most of you know when you push somebody out while you're in a locked submission, you would get disqualified. So he doesn't push me out all the way. Smart for him. He tries to put a choke in, and he tries to get an angle. That angle actually helps me in locking the triangle. As you can see right here. Now my triangle's almost fully locked. Keep adjusting. If we go back a little bit, you can see my opponent tries to stretch his arm and defend. That's a cue for me to attack the armor. Oh, here. Now look, my opponent is trying to stretch the arm. Usually that alleviates a little bit of the pressure on the neck, but it also means that his arm is vulnerable for armor. So I make use of that. I try to take the arm, he defends, and that means I can start attacking the triangle again. Here my opponent tries to pressure in and cut an angle. First, whenever somebody is pressuring in, I want to block him away a little bit. So you can see my hand here blocking his hips. That way he can't put too much pressure on me. And while I'm blocking his hips, I want to lock my triangle. Now my triangle is locked perfectly. Right here in the kneecap. My toes are pointing up. That not only locks the triangle in place, but it also makes the triangle tighter, because you will flex your hamstrings, and that takes away a few more centimeters, which can make the difference between a tap or not a tap. So always when you're attacking the triangle, you want your toes pointing up. My left hand, instead of posting now, has made a grip underhook on his leg, so that way I can look into his ear. That's a good cue when you want to finish the triangle. Look into the ear means I'm looking into the free ear. The other ear is covered by his shoulder, because on the other side his arm is in. So by using this cue, look into his ear, you should be able to get a good angle, finish the triangle. Now my opponent taps, make sure the ref sees it. You never want to let go of a submission before the ref stops you. Of course in training it's different, but in competitions you always want to make sure the ref stops you. And there we go. Okay, so let's look at the whole sequence again. Here I'm playing my single leg X with the lapel. Pretty hard position to get out of. There are some ways, but not a lot of people know how to pass it. So my opponent here tries to roll out of it and maybe get a back take off it. I was competing a weight class up, so I was pretty sure my inversions would be better than my opponents. This was the minus 77 kilos. I usually compete between minus 70, sometimes even minus 64 if I cut weight. So I was pretty confident about the inversion here. You can see I can make I can actually benefit off his inversion. We roll through. He's not aware of his arm positioning. Lock the triangle and lock it better. Now I start adjusting. Remember, never open your triangle without having a placeholder. So I don't open my legs unless my hand is covering my leg. Opponent tries to stack me. He knows he can't walk me all the way off, so here he stops. He tries to extend the arm. I go for the armbar. This hand in the neck is not really bothering me. It can be a little bit annoying, but there's not a lot of pressure going in there. And whenever when you're in a triangle, you wanna have a mindset of finishing the triangle. So I always tell this to my students. When you're in a triangle, you're gonna finish the opponent. Doesn't matter how. If he gives you the arm, you're gonna get the arm. Otherwise, you just wait. You keep squeezing a little bit. Don't tire out. But whenever somebody goes into your triangle, it should be a done deal. You can't let somebody escape from your triangle. When you're training and you get better, like I would play catch and release with white belts, blue belts, but whenever I'm training against high level guys, when I get a triangle, I will go to finish because it's a important practice to do and important for your mindset. I block the pressure. He tries to come into me. Now, as soon as I feel his pressure going down a little bit, that's where I can go under the leg and get the tap.
So the main point that you can take away from this video, first of all, you want to progress your way to a perfect triangle. You don't want to focus on getting it perfect right away. Just slowly work your way up to lock in your foot at the back of your knee. Very related to that is always keep a closed loop around your opponent's neck. So whenever you open up your triangle to get an angle and to close it higher up on your leg, make sure your triangle stays closed by using your arm as a replacement. The third thing is the finishing mindset. Whenever you lock somebody in a triangle, you have to finish him. That should always be your mindset. Only when you get really good at triangles, you can start catch and release just to drill the entries more. But when you're starting out with triangles, make sure you always finish it whenever you get them. The fourth thing is you can block stacks by posting your hand on the hip or anywhere else you can find a post. And the fifth point is that I personally always like to finish at an angle. So I underhook the leg and from there I get a really strong finishing position. If you like the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. And if you have any matches you want to see analyzed, could be yours, could be mine or anybody else's, make sure to let me know as well so I can do that in the near future. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.